Hi guys, Kanika here. You're watching the K Factor by Kanika Kush. Today is a very, very interesting topic. It is very close to my heart, and I think I have dedicated my entire life into understanding this. And yeah, I should be awarded a PhD because the reason is that, as the topic says, minimize logic. I'm the polar opposite. Okay, so I am. I think only emotion, and only off late is when I'm understanding the logic behind logic. Okay, but that said, so that's what. Now I've studied this so much that ab thoda na understanding ho gaya through minimalism. Okay, so before wasting any more time, basically, at least I have, and I don't know, maybe a lot of you also have heard this phrase. You know, it's a phrase that be a little more logical, yeah. Don't be so emotional all the time. है ना ये बहुत बार सुनने को मिलता है मुझे तो आई थिंक माई एंटायर जिंदगी का बिगेस्ट एडवाइस हैज बीन दिस ओनली डोंट बी सो इमोशनल डोंट बी सो इमोशनल बट because today I own myself to a very large extent. So high five to emotions and emotional people, because as humans I think that's our gift, to be emotional. But again, this video is not about that. The video is how to minimize logic. Okay, now I will not get into history that logic kyun aaya hai, or the understanding of why logic actually came into the picture and why most people resort to be logical. Okay, honestly, it has to do, logic I think came across to be practiced so much because of the invention of money. Okay, it is a byproduct of that, where you will use logic everywhere because I think it leads to more money making, but that for later, and that again for the actual PhD if I ever do it. But right now, it's again my opinion, okay, and I'm trying to tell you why logic needs to be minimized. Now here, please understand, I will repeat the phrase: logic needs to be minimized at the wrong places. Okay, so the use of logic needs to be minimized at the wrong places. And typically I'm not a person who believes in right and wrong, but ye itna it's such a pyara topic to me, no? So I am going to use right and wrong. Okay, then of course it's your choice, your life, whatever you want to kind of agree with and practice or not. Okay, so when I say wrong and right, basically what I've tried to understand and what I have understood is that whenever we use logic at the wrong place, then a bad emotion always follows. Okay, whereas if you use logic at the right place, then a good emotion follows. इमोशन तो होगा ही, ठीक है. अगर आपको बोलना है मैं इमोशनल नहीं हूँ, इमोशंस डोंट अफेक्ट मी, यू आर द बिगेस्ट लायर. यू आर, ओके, इसमें कोई दो राय नहीं है. आप झूठ बोल रहे हो सबसे और अपने आप से, ठीक है. तो इमोशन तो ऑब्वियसली सब में. सो लाइक आई सेड, good logic, good emotion at the right place. Bad logic at the bad place, bad emotion. Okay, example as always. So let's begin with using logic at the right place. Two examples I'll give you. Okay, so example number one, आपको कार खरीदनी है. Use logic ना, मतलब it's a machine. Seriously, it literally is a machine. तो वहाँ पे कहाँ से emotion आ रहा है, right? So basically what do? You go ahead and you see आपका affordability, EMI options, and what is it? It's all the specifications of the car, its reputation, its serviceability, spare parts, etc. Okay, power and all of that, right? Now those are logical things. So go by logic. It's a car. It's nothing more than a car. It's going to take you from point A to point B. That's its job. Okay, it was invented. So use your entire logic there. Then you'll notice that when you use logic at the right place, then it is followed by emotions, good emotions. Okay, so good emotions kya honge when you buy a nice car? Nice feeling of pride. Sometimes, I mean, cars also denote success in this world. So yeah, okay, you'll feel a little successful. You could buy a good car, and then general sense of happiness that okay, fine, you know, it's a family car and hum kar pa rahe hain, jo bhi hai, it's comfortable, right? So those are good emotions that will follow. Similarly, example number two. Let's say you want to buy a smartphone. So then again, use logic that okay, I need so much storage, I need so and so company because uska again spare parts or serviceability is higher, affordability kya hai, what are the usages, मेरे को किस किस चीज के लिए use करना है, all of that that's logic, right? And then when you buy it, then good emotions follow, like oh wow, I'm being able to do so much and I'm happy and I'm being able to achieve so much, or a feeling again of satisfaction. right? So that's a good emotion that follows, less frustration, correct? These two were the examples of basically using logic at the right places. Now what is going wrong with the society is that we are using logic at the wrong places. Okay, so the wrong place ke examples will be, I mean, there are so many, I can't tell you, but I will just talk about two. Okay, number one is parenting. Now, again, I think I'm a history student more than a science student. मुझे ऐसे लगता है, I don't know why I took science, but I would have done so much better with arts and humanities because I like getting into history of things. Okay, so by history I mean parenting and people who are let's say from like 25 onwards to 40, 45. Now our parents obviously were born in a generation where the priorities were very different, and which is why they mostly used logic to raise us, right? And rightfully so. I mean, they did all the right things and all of that. But what I feel is that using things like society as logic, that this is acceptable in the society. So now I'm talking about parenting, and I feel that parenting is something where logic should actually not be used. But parenting, okay, I'm not talking about the decisions you take as parents. No, parenting, like raising children. Okay, I feel it should be emotional. So why logic is bad in parenting? Because if your parameters are that the society does this, therefore you should do it, that's logic. Or obviously you have to get great grades in school because that's how you will go to a good college, that's how you will do well in life and be very successful. That's logic being used. Okay, or so and so so and so of my friend, uska bachcha goes to so and so school and aisa hota hai, the child doesn't want to go, a child has no aptitude to go to that school, but aap bhejoge because that is your logic, right? So things like that. Then similarly, this has to be done against the child's wishes because you feel logically that ये अगर ये करेगा या करेगी तो तब ये होगा या वो होगा, giving no regard to the child's feelings. Okay, that's where I feel that logic is misused. As opposed to, as opposed to, we are not going to discuss here because there's not a lecture on how to parent. I mean, we all know and we are all doing our best, but this is my opinion on why logic should not be used so much in parenting. I mean, logic should be used last, because isse kya hota hai, this what I just the parameters that I just lay down for you, uske baad the bad emotion that follows is when the child grows up, then the child feels a little resentful, may not have very high self-esteem, may not have too much confidence in himself or herself, may find it more difficult to kind of get a foothold in the world, suffer from insecurity, inferiority complex, and not feel successful for so many reasons which are honestly nothing to do with him or her, right? So this is where I feel that if you use logic, it's the wrong place to use logic. This is where emotions should be used first. Okay, because logic was used in the wrong place, therefore bad emotions follow. Similarly, example 2, this one I'll keep shorter. Okay, example 2 is husband wife or choosing your life partner. ये तो I think पूरा इंडिया ने की होगी इसके ऊपर तो PhD, और अभी भी चल रही है. Thankfully some things are changing, but while choosing a life partner, I think the logic which is used, which is outlandish, like how, okay, I mean, I don't understand it, is caste, religion, obviously social status, then कितना कमा रहा है, कितना कमा रही है, अब्रॉड से आए हैं कि नहीं. These are the logical, and then of course all the physical attributes. मेरे को बात भी नहीं करनी है physical attributes की, ठीक है? I don't even like talking, because लगता है my mind gets polluted by talking about physical attributes. Okay, but you know how it is. So these are all like parameters which are logical being used in choosing your life partner. How ridiculous is that? Okay, so therefore what bad emotions follow, I think we all know that, is fighting, is disrespect, is abuse sometimes, it is quarrels, misunderstandings, and then both parties suffering from a very high level of sadness. Okay, and depression, then all that leads to all of the other things that you know. And this one, by the way, I am an example of, because I was in a marriage which was based on logic. Well, that did not work out, and I decided to do something about it. And now I'm in a in a relationship, in a marriage which is based on complete emotions. Okay, so yeah, there is some authority that जिससे मैं बता सकती हूँ. Okay, so this is basically what I wanted to say. So you know, and again, it all leads to basically being satisfied, peaceful, and happy. And all I'm trying to do here is all the time just trying to figure out where all have I used minimalism and how has it helped me. It takes a while, because I actually sit down and think every day, you know, all my decisions, or wherever I feel good or anything, actually break it down and see, have I used minimalism here? So whether advertently or inadvertently, I actually have, which is why I share them with you. Okay, so just to end, all my request to you is that maybe if you're suffering from any sort of frustration, or in any sphere of your life, this also could be a way to kind of ponder over that, are you using logic too much? Or, and logic again, too much karo, theek hai, okay, but are you using logic at the wrong place? Is emotion required there? And vice versa is also. See, I'm not an enemy of logic. Okay, I've understood the importance of logic in the past 3-4 years, and man, it helps. But approaching everything with logic may not be a great idea, because there's so many things that are much higher than just using logic for them. Okay, so generally go over and आराम से, टेंशन की बात नहीं है, आराम से देखो कहाँ लॉजिक यूज हो रहा है, कहाँ इमोशन, एंड just tweak it a little bit with the use of minimalism if you can. Okay, and because I've spoken so much about logic, obviously I'm going to speak about emotion and where to minimize it, and not maximize, minimize it in the next video. Okay guys, I'll see you soon. Bye.